Nottinghamshire Police Force have provided their female staff with menopause rooms. Now, these are places where women can go and have a cry when they feel overcome with emotion if they're going through the menopause. But those behind the initiative have been criticised, some saying this is patronising. I don't know, what do you think? Is it patronising or do we need somewhere? I mean, we've done it, been through it, going through it.
Yeah.
Would you like somewhere where you could just go and...
You just go to the toilet or you just go outside, wouldn't you? Can you imagine our mums having a crying room all those years ago, being sent somewhere to go and sit and have a cry?
Yeah.
It's something that we all have to go through and we have to deal with it in our own way.
I think it's good that it's talked about.
Yeah.
I think it's... I mean, for me, all employers should be addressing this because women are in the work. It's great that women are in the workplace at that age and, you know, and still having careers and things, but it does affect a lot of women very badly, but not all of the time. So you just might have moments where you think, I'm so hot, I'm feeling a bit emotional, I'm about to cry and I don't want to, because sometimes you can't help it. So I think the intention is very good. Yes. My concern would be that it's like labelling people, like, oh, she's in one of those, menopause. Or if you were having words with somebody, particularly maybe a male boss, a disagreement, or putting your view, that they might go, do you need to go to the...
Yes.
Do you need to go to the crying room?
That's what Jeremy says to me. I mean, I'm not going through the menopause yet, but I do suffer from really bad PMT, and there's about 2 days a month where I literally hate everyone. Like, it's just so... I can't even have him touch me. I'm just like, get away. And he's like, oh, it's that time of the month. It's not that time of the month. It's just my tolerance just goes from being, you know, I'm very tolerant usually, but it just shortens very quickly and I just get so angry. And whenever he mentions, oh, it's that time of the month, I find it...
Makes you worse.
Yeah, it makes me so much worse. So I can imagine it's like a similar thing. What does the menopause feel like? Are you saying earlier it's like sweat?
It's like, yeah, you can't explain it unless you go through it, but it's like you feel like you're going to explode. It's like you get this hot sweat that comes from the back of your neck over your head and you feel like you're going to explode. And I was on HRT and I was doing really, really well, and then my sister got breast cancer and we decided to come off the HRT. We found out it's not in our genes, but the kids kept going, please, Mum, please, you've got to go back on the HRT. Please, you've got to, because it was like the mood swings and the hot flushes and were absolutely terrible. So touch wood, since I've been back on it, it has been a lot better.
I've had to actually explain the menopause to Jack. She wasn't, you know, didn't enjoy too much.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Mum, you're all right. But just because I'd had a few kind of crazy moments where I'd really overreacted to something quite small that he'd done, and at one point I found myself in his face and I swore, and then I slammed out the room, I slammed the door. It was like I was the teenager. I ran up to my room and burst into tears, and then to come back, and then I explained to him, like, Mummy's not going crazy, this is what's happening. So I think, actually, I mean, I know, so he does, you know, he was just still sitting in the same place that I'd left him. But somebody...
It's tricky, isn't it? Like, when you see, like, I've got certain members of my family, I don't want to mention any names, that you can see they're going through the menopause, and they're being really mean to you, and you're like, do I say it's the menopause? Like, do I bring it up? Because as a woman, I know how annoying that is just by having PMT, but you can see them actually, like, destroying your relationship with one another because they're being so mean.
Well, somebody who does think that they're being overindulgent, Sam Taylor is the editor of The Lady magazine. She said, when a woman hits her mid-40s, she really should be able to pull herself together when she's having a hot flush. I work in a magazine full of middle-aged women, and if they feel a bit overwrought, they go home after work and have a stiff gin and tonic. Oh, don't think that's quite the... That's the attitude that I think absolutely needs to change. You can't pull yourself together.
We've got our own menopause room, haven't we? Our green room.
Yeah, that's
very chatting before.
See, I have to say, it's very true. Our kind of meeting in the morning, we call it a meeting, it was just like a load of pals, and that's where we do vent and we let go and we cry and shout.
This morning, everyone was in floods of tears. I thought, oh, my goodness, are we going to do a show?
That's the best thing for me, honestly. Like, I really like the way that, like, now with all you lot, I actually know what's going to come. I'm like going, I'm ready. You know, because I think it can be, for me, it's going to be quite soon. So I kind of know, right, this is what I'm going to handle it, and then come to work and have the therapy.
Yes, we're telling you what's ahead. Actually, Nottinghamshire Police say we take staff welfare very seriously, and we are very proud to have been the first police force to introduce a menopause policy. I think in the past people would shy away from talking about the menopause. We have not introduced crying rooms, and as has been intimated, sorry, I can't speak today, it's menopause, by some media outlets. We've seen there was a lack of understanding, support and facilities for our staff who were going through the menopause, and we have done something about it.
And that's good for them
which I
to
think
do
is very good.
Yeah.
I mean, even the